The only wrong exposure to Bitcoin is zero. Allow me to explain. According to everybody's favorite Bitcoin crush, Jeff Booth, there is $400 trillion of outstanding debt in the world. How is this ever going to be paid off? Well, there are two possibilities. Number one, the most likely, they are going to monetize the debt. In other words, they're going to print masses amount of money in order to pay it off. And what that does is steal from those who have savings and cash because you're debasing the currency. In that case, you're going to have an injection into the system of a massive amount of liquidity, and Bitcoin will suck that up like a giant sponge. Option number two, 400 trillion in debt. One country crashes. The currency goes to zero. And it might be a country like Canada. Argentina has already essentially defaulted on the debt. And that will create a cascading effect, much like the 2008-2009 financial crisis, when collateralized debt obligations featured in The Big Short, where Michael Burry bet against them and made a ton of money. That will take place, and you will see a massive demand for risk for an asset that has no counterparty risk, and that asset is Bitcoin. Similar to in The Big Short, the movie, if you had a put on the CDOs that blew up, everybody, every insurance company, every bank was bidding on it. The same will happen with Bitcoin. It is an asset without counterparty risk that can easily be moved around the world. So in either of these two scenarios, Bitcoin rises massively. And if I'm wrong and neither of these two scenarios take place, which frankly I hope that they don't, because it's probably better for the world and for the average person, and the economy continues to chug along and create new wealth via new technologies and isn't bogged down by the socialist practices of Elizabeth Warren and the communism that exists in San Francisco that is essentially destroying America, but that's a whole other story. I believe that Bitcoin is an asymmetric bet that will find great value in either scenario, and thus is worth exposure in your portfolio of a certain percentage, and that is for you to decide. But I can tell you that the only wrong percentage exposure to Bitcoin is zero.